And the early hours of a cold May night in 1914, while most of the world slept peacefully, a silent giant was moving through dark waters. Her name was RMS Empress of Ireland, a magnificent ocean liner, a symbol of human pride, a floating city of steel and dreams. She carried more than 1,400 souls on board. Men, women, children, families chasing new lives, workers returning home, dreamers who believed the sea was only a road, not a grave. But within 14 minutes, this proud ship would disappear beneath the waves, taking 1,012 lives with her. Faster than the Titanic, deadlier than most people ever realized, and yet, almost forgotten by history. This is the true story of the ship that would later be called the Titanic of the East, a world in love with the sea. At the beginning of the 20th century, ocean liners were the airplanes of their time. There were no commercial jets, no fast global travel. If you wanted to cross continents, you crossed oceans. And companies competed fiercely. Bigger ships, faster engines, more luxury, more prestige. The British had the Titanic. The Germans had the Kaiser-class ships. And Canada had a rising star, the Empress of Ireland. Built in 1906 in Glasgow, Scotland, she was one of the most advanced passenger ships of her era. With 550 feet in length, steel hull, powerful steam engines, elegant dining halls, first-class cabins like hotels, and third-class rooms filled with immigrants seeking hope. She sailed mainly between Quebec, Canada, and Liverpool, England. Routine journey. Familiar, trusted, until the night everything went wrong. The final voyage begins. On May 28, 1914, the Empress of Ireland left the port of Quebec. The weather was calm. The passengers were relaxed. The crew confident. No storm warnings. No danger signs. Among the passengers, entire families moving to Europe. Members of the Salvation Army Choir. Businessmen. Students. Children laughing on deck. The ship moved into the St. Lawrence River, a wide but dangerous waterway known for fog. Fog that could appear like a ghost. Silent, sudden, blinding. And that night came. The fog arrives. Shortly after 1:30 a.m., a thick white wall rose from the water. Visibility dropped to almost zero. The captain ordered the ship to slow down. Fog horns echoed across the dark river. Somewhere in that mist, another ship was moving. A Norwegian coal ship. A Storstad. Small compared to the Empress. Heavy, steel-nosed, sharp bow like a knife. Both ships tried to navigate. Both blew warning signals. But confusion took over. Each captain misunderstood the other's direction. Seconds passed. And, out of the white fog, steel met steel. The impact. The Storstad smashed into the side of the Empress of Ireland. Not gently, not slowly, like a spear. The sharp bow tore open the Empress's hull below the waterline. A wound more than 20 feet wide. Seawater rushed inside. Boilers exploded. Electricity failed. Lights died. Darkness swallowed the ship. Passengers woke up screaming. Some were thrown from their beds. Others had no idea what was happening. Water flooded lower decks in seconds. There was no time. No organized evacuation. No proper lifeboat launch. The ship began to tilt. Violently. Panic in the dark. Imagine waking up to darkness. Cold water climbing your legs. Screams in every language. Corridors tilted like mountains. Children crying. Metal groaning. Some passengers never even left their cabins. They were trapped behind jammed doors. Others reached the deck only to find lifeboats impossible to lower because the ship was already leaning too far. People slipped, fell, were crushed, or jumped into the freezing river. The water temperature was near 0 degrees Celsius. Cold enough to stop the heart in minutes. 14 minutes. From the moment of impact to complete disappearance. Only 14 minutes passed. 14 minutes to escape. 14 minutes to say goodbye. 14 minutes between life and death. And the Empress of Ireland rolled onto her side. Her propellers rose into the air. And she vanished, silently, into black water, taking hundreds of people inside her steel grave. A disaster the world forgot. By morning, over 1,000 people were dead. More than on the Titanic. Yet history barely remembers. Why? Because just weeks later, World War I began. Guns roared. Nations burned. Millions died. And the Empress of Ireland became a footnote. A tragedy buried under the noise of war. A disaster drowned not only by water, but by time. Survivors' voices, those who lived, were never the same. Some spoke of seeing families disappear into darkness, hearing prayers cut short by waves, feeling hands slipping from their grip in icy water. One survivor said, "The river was filled with cries, then silence, a silence heavier than death." Another whispered, "I did not survive. A part of me drowned with the ship, the grave beneath the river." Today, the wreck still lies in the St. Lawrence River. Cold, broken, silent, metal tomb. Divers who visit describe. Shoes still on the floor. Plates on dining tables. Toys in children's cabins. Frozen in time. City of ghosts. And yet, we forgot. No Hollywood movie. No global Memorial Day. No school lessons. Just rust and bones. And silence beneath dark water. The Titanic became a legend. The Empress of Ireland became a shadow. But tragedy does not measure itself by fame, only by lives lost. And over 1,000 souls vanished that night. Unremembered, unforgiven, unheard. But their story deserves to be told. And this was only the beginning. After the ship sank, when the Empress of Ireland disappeared beneath the black water, the river became silent, not peaceful, but empty. Floating debris replaced human voices. Wooden doors, broken chairs, suitcases, booze, and bodies. Hundreds of them. Some still wearing life jackets. Some holding hands. Some completely frozen. The SS Storstad, the ship that caused the collision, was badly damaged but still floating. Its crew lowered boats immediately. They began pulling survivors from the freezing water. But for most, it was already too late. The cold had won. The first rescue. Nearby villages along the St. Lawrence River saw strange lights and heard distant horns. Fishermen and local residents rushed to the shore in small boats. What they found was something no human should ever see. People clinging to wood. Children crying beside dead parents. Men unable to speak because their lips were blue with cold. The river was not a river anymore. It was a graveyard. Survivors were taken to small hospitals, churches, and homes. Many were unconscious. Some never woke up. Doctors worked without rest. Villagers gave blankets, clothes, food. But no kindness could erase what the eyes had seen. Counting the dead. By sunrise, the numbers became clear. Out of about 1,477 people on board, only 465 survived. 1,012 died. Among the dead, entire families, 134 children, 840 passengers, 172 crew members. One group suffered terribly. The Salvation Army Choir. Over 160 members were traveling to London for a conference. Only a handful survived. Their songs would never be heard again. Shock around the world. News traveled slowly in 1914. No internet, no social media, no instant videos. But newspapers exploded with headlines. Canadian liner sunk. Over 1,000 dead. Disaster in St. Lawrence River. Families waited in terror for telegrams. Mothers stood at doors. Children stared at roads. Some messages never came. Others brought only one sentence. We regret to inform you. The question everyone asked: how could this happen? 2 modern ships. Experienced captains. Calm waters. No storm. No war. No iceberg. So what went wrong? The world demanded answers. And so began the investigation. Blame begins. Immediately, fingers pointed in all directions. Some blamed the captain of the Empress, the captain of the Storstad. Fog, bad communication, old navigation rules. Both captains survived. Both told different stories. The captain of the Empress said, "We stopped. We blew the horn. We followed the rules." The captain of the Storstad said, "They turned into us. We had no time." 2 versions, one truth, hidden in fog. The Court of Inquiry. Canada and Britain launched official investigations. Courtrooms filled. Maps were drawn. Witnesses spoke. Survivors described chaos. Crew members described confusion. Navigation experts argued about right-of-way, horn signals, speed in fog, river currents. But something important became clear. The rules of navigation were confusing, very confusing. One horn blast could mean, "I am turning right," but also, "I am going forward." In fog, sound lied, distance lied, direction lied. Men trusted rules. That betrayed them. The final judgment. In the end, the court blamed the Storstad. Its captain was declared responsible. The Norwegian ship was seized. Its owners were forced to pay compensation. But for families, no money could replace fathers. No court could return children. No verdict could heal the river. The survivors' guilt, those who lived, carried invisible chains. Many could not sleep. Some heard water in their dreams. Some smelled coal smoke forever. One woman survived because she was thrown from her bed into a corridor filled with air. Her entire family died. She later said, "I lived, but my life ended that night." Another survivor refused to ever touch water again. He moved inland, far from rivers, far from ships, far from memory, a ship too fast to escape. Experts later discovered something terrifying. The Empress of Ireland sank faster than Titanic because her damage was below the waterline. Her watertight doors were not fully sealed. Her ship design allowed rapid flooding on one side. Titanic sank in 2 hours and 40 minutes. Empress of Ireland sank in 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Not enough to understand death. Not enough to say goodbye. Not enough to pray. The wreck is found. Years later, divers searched the river. In 1964, they found her, lying on her side, broken, cold, silent, still holding the shape of a ship, still holding the memory of screams. Divers reported strange things. Clocks stopped at the moment of sinking. Dishes stacked in kitchens. Beds still made. Shoes near doors. One diver said, "It feels like the ship is sleeping and dreaming of the dead. Why the world forgot. And yet, No movie, no global memorial, no famous songs. Why? Because just weeks after the sinking, the world exploded into war. World War I. Guns replaced waves. Explosions replaced crying. Millions died. And the Empress of Ireland disappeared from headlines. History has limited space, chooses some tragedies, and buries others. The weight of silence. Today, few people know this name. Few teachers mention it. Few documentaries tell it. But the river remembers. Water never forgets. Holds voices, faces, final breath. Every night, currents move around the wreck, like fingers touching an old wound. Question for us: if 1,000 people die, and the world forgets, did they truly exist? Or are we alive, only as long as someone remembers our story? In the next part, we will go deeper, into personal survivor stories, into last letters, last prayers, last moments, and into the emotional truth of what it means to survive when others do not.